Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about why you should come to China and why it's interesting.
The main one for me is all about the history, but also about how China's changed and how it is in modern times, because it's very, very different. Chinese recorded history goes back, thousands of years, right? So there's a rich history of detailed recordings of what life is like in China. And of course, for me, the real interesting thing is how that's changed. China in its current form is only, 70 years old?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we just had the 70th anniversary, yeah.
So, again, that's really interesting.
Tea, Chinese tea culture. So I really like tea in the United States, and I drank a lot of it when I was there, but most of it was like herbal teas and kind of fruit blends. It's really cool to see how tea really changes and is different from area to area, but it's also a big part of the culture. When you're out eating with people, a lot of times you'll get tea in the beginning when it's served to you and things like that. And
tea is absolutely massive. I mean, luckily for me, I was able to get a sample box from One River Tea, right? And I'm learning so much about tea and a different type of tea, like you said, just through my sample box. That it's fantastic. So,
awesome.
Tea is massive. The next one for me, right? Because everybody likes to eat food.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think I said it in the last video, right? Like the best way to really go and get an authentic experience, right, is to go to the country. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I've had food in Chinatown and it's been good. It's been good. Yeah. But there's nothing quite like Yangzhou food in Yangzhou.
That's true. And like, even when I was back in the States after I'd been in China, I'd went to different Chinese restaurants and I'll ask them and be like, I don't want American style Chinese food. Can you make me Chinese style Chinise food? And some of them say yes, and it's great. It tastes like you're right in China, but you have to have been here to know about that dish. Yeah. And some of them have just straight up told me no. They've just been like, no, you have to. I'm like, what? And I've gotten dishes that I'm like, oh, I know this. Okay, like I know the Chinese. I'm like, this is a really good dish. And I've gotten it. I'm like, this just isn't the same. This just isn't it.
Like, don't get me wrong. I would encourage everybody to visit China, right? And I'm waiting for my check in the mail. But living and working in China, again, it's very, very different. Very, very different. And quite the experience. So whether you guys decide to, travel and visit, hopefully not during any peak holiday times, because as we said, it can be quite busy. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But if you also decide to live and work in China, I mean, we're doing it now. I'm having an absolute blast, and I recommend it to everyone.
And I think like one of the big ones, all of the technology. We're not really going to talk about it a lot in this video, but it is a big component that when you have a bank account, a Chinese bank account, you can access all the apps. Yeah. But you have to have the Z visa, the working visa, in order to get a bank account. So it completely changes your experience. You can use all the online things, and it just you get so much more into the culture and the tech.
Does anyone really use cash after you have, your bank account connected to WeChat?
Honestly, I do. Well, but the only reason that I use cash is because if it's in my bank account, I'll spend it. So I have to keep my food money separate. Okay. So that I don't run out of money to eat, because it's just so convenient.
Yeah, and because food is a big part of why we're here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So and I think with that, the lifestyle that goes with the technology and our good salaries. Yeah. Right? You come in here and your first year here, you're making an upper middle class income in the city. Yeah. We're making in the top 10% of income in the city that we work in, which really gives us the opportunity to kind of, really ball out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so much opportunity, as you say, to ball out. If you want to, and then of course, if you want to save a little bit of money, right, you can also do that.
Or a lot of bit of money.
Right? Because there's enough money to do that.
Yeah.
And as you say, we're in the top 10% of salary earners in the city, and that's a really privileged position. So, I want to thank the city for that. Yeah. I want to thank everybody off camera for that, because it's a wonderful opportunity.
It really is. And then the next thing that I think we kind of, maybe we don't have the best opinion of in the West is Chinese brands.
Well, see, now, you say that, right? But I have two phones. Okay. One of them is a Xiaomi phone. It's a Redmi Note 7, by the way. Again, I'll wait for the other check, right? And then my other phone is a Huawei P20 Lite.
Really?
They want to go and send me some stuff, they can send me some stuff. But yeah, I'm relatively familiar with Chinese brands. Sure. So in terms of my Huawei products, I have my phone, as I say. I also have my watch. My watch is a Huawei watch, right? And I also have a Huawei tablet.
Is this a paid promotion, Gary? Meanwhile, Yeah. But it is cool.
Yeah,
it is cool.
really cool.
And not just the technological products, but the day-to-day products. A lot of the things that we make, you see it says made in China.
Yeah.
A lot of things we have in the West, and the Chinese brands, you can obviously get them for a lot cheaper within China.
Yeah. China, right? And China bustle, right? I mean, like, how do you...
There's so many people.
I'm just saying.
So many people.
It's great training. Great training, right? Like, so if you're not the most patient person in the world, and I know one person that's in this video that might be like that.
Yeah, well.
It's good training to help you with that.
Yeah.
We call it developing your China cool.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a really good chance for that, just to relax and enjoy it, really.
Yeah.
But,
and I mean, realize you're honestly, we're part of a bigger picture, right?
Very true.
I think in the West, right, you have your house and it's like secluded from everyone else, and so you may have this kind of like thought, but here it's like there's so many people that no one has this privilege to start off with, and you kind of just have to work with that. But it's really cool to see how efficient it is.
Oh, and this is the thing, like, it's super efficient.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable to the point where there's some parts of it where I'm thinking, well, why don't we do this back
Why don't we
home?
do it this way? Right. Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my new favorite subject, right? E-bikes.
Oh, you mean because you just got in a wreck?
Well, I didn't get into a wreck.
But your feet were off the bike. Like, you were off the bike.
Okay, I was off the bike. Well, look, here's the thing about e-bikes, right? So before I came to China, I wasn't driving, right?
Yeah.
I didn't ride a bike before.
Okay.
So the thing was, like, even though I'm still technically the king of taxis, I haven't relinquished my crown, right? Like, and I enjoy getting around town on a bus, right? There is something else about the freedom you have getting around town on an e-bike, or if you have a bicycle.
So
right?
you can get off anywhere.
This is the thing.
You see the things on the side of the road, like you see a street vendor or something that you want to see. It's not like in a taxi or a bus where you can just hop off.
That's it.
Anywhere.
Pop off.
Literally, you can park them anywhere.
Literally park them
Literally anywhere.
And as I say, so much freedom to go where you want, when you want, as opposed to, like, didn't you say you had to wait for a DD? Like, almost over 2 hours in the last video?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that happens sometimes. That's not a common occurrence, right? But, like, you're not stuck waiting for a bus. You're not stuck waiting for a taxi. You can go where you need to go, when you need to go, right? Now, obviously, I'd advise you to charge bikes properly before you go. But, yeah, like, there's so much freedom with having an e-bike or even a bicycle that, it's unparalleled.
Yeah.
Unparalleled.
And then I mean, that's great for in the city.
Yeah.
Right? But then the travel around China, right? If you're just an individual and you want to like get around, it's so much more efficient. The public transportation is so much better than it is in the West with the bullet trains, and how cheap the flight costs are.
Well,
like the combination.
I have to be honest with you guys. I haven't started traveling yet. I haven't, right? But I will soon, and I will report back to you in one of our future videos. But as you say, the bullet trains, right? Like, you can get from almost one end to the other end, right? In what, a few hours? Or at least from one.
Where?
Well, not
The
necessarily
province? The country?
Well, the province.
Okay. Yeah, the province could just be a couple hours, but to get from the complete eastern side of China all the way to the west only takes about 12 hours.
See, and
we're talking about thousands of kilometers or miles, right? Either way.
This is it. And that is just crazy as for how well developed that is. And as you say, we talk about the high-speed bullet trains, right? Like, it's even less time.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're going, right? And I just think, again, like, why isn't that infrastructure implemented elsewhere, right? Wow. So I think about, for example, the tube in London, right? And I think it's like Great Western Rail, Great Western Rail, if I can get my words out, right? And there's usually southwestern trains and southeastern trains, southeast trains.
To be fair, I don't even know what he's talking about, so
but southeast trains, there's always some sort of problem with the line, always, right? And it's like there's always delays, always problems. Does that happen in China?
No.
And that's the point, right? Like,
no. I mean, there's bullet trains like every 20 minutes, like every day.
This is it.
To anywhere you're looking to go.
This is it.
Yeah. Hey, you may miss out on a first class seat or may have to stand, I guess, if you're booking it, 2 minutes before you leave. But other than that, and that's not even that bad.
That's it.
I mean, what else would, And so I think the last thing is really, really the most important.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're both guys, so traveling for us is a little bit different than if we were females.
For sure.
But safety, traveling around in China is safe, and we actually just had a really empowering staff workshop, and one of the female teachers had spoken about how they feel so empowered to travel here by themselves, and
Yeah.
other Chinese women help them and either speak in Chinese or English to help them when they're traveling, and they're comfortable to travel alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Which generally would not happen back home.
No, and we're not even talking about people going out after hours by themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was one weird thing for me was like when I first got here, I would go out and I couldn't sleep because my cycle was still off from the jet lag. And I would go out at like 3 or 4 in the morning and there would be like elderly people and women and just like very like sensitive, high risk environment for crime kind of groups. And they were just living their lives.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. I mean, also I have a kid.
Yeah.
I have a daughter and a wife. And so for me, having them be able to go around and have an amazing time, and I don't have to worry about their safety.
Yeah.
No matter where they go in the city, this is something, or the country.
Yeah.
This is something that I just can't speak more about. I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, I went for a little bit of a bike ride at night. Now, obviously, the roads are different. It's not as busy, but like, it's so safe, so quiet. Like, even if I was walking, right? Which, I'll be honest, do I do that back home? No. No, I don't. And, as you said, it's so safe that I think, again, like, whatever they've done to go and make it so safe, like, why can't we go and implement that back home?
It really would be nice. It really would be. Because, like, I'm just thinking about silly things that I've done here that I never would have thought twice to do back home. Like, I've accidentally left my phone in my bike for, like, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And
back home, it would be gone.
the bike was unlocked.
Yeah.
So it would all be gone.
Everything would
like
be gone.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
it would all be gone. Like,
and you come back and everything's still there.
yeah, it's just a different environment, and,
Totally
and it's
different.
just a safe and welcoming environment, and that's just amazing.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, we know what time it is.
It's
China what? So this week, I actually had a video montage done of my life in China.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Chinese news broadcasting station asked if someone from our school would be willing. I was like, yeah,
Sure,
I've been here for a couple of years, so why not? And it was a really cool opportunity. I got to go with my Kung Fu master. We drank some tea, and we got to talk about our experience doing Shaolin Kung Fu. That's why I'm repping the shirt today. So, yeah, I mean...
Is this a sponsored video?
No. But yeah, so it was a really cool experience where I got to talk about Kung Fu. I got to play a local card game that I play with people. We talked about it before, Guandan, with some older people, and it was fun. It was really cool to hang out with some older locals from Yangzhou, and just got to talk about the different things that I do in my life here. But it was one of those things like, I could never imagine at home being like, okay, we need someone who'd like to talk about their life living in the city that we're living in. Like, it was a really cool experience. Yeah. And I actually got to go through some Kung Fu moves, and we'll actually, when the video comes out, we'll drop some clips later on.
Yeah,
but,
man.
It was cool.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, it's quite an opportunity, man. Local news station. And hey, you're a celebrity now.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
So that's this week's video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, you guys know the drill. Please leave a like, leave a comment down below, okay? And if you haven't subscribed already, why not, man? Subscribe, right? Click on the bell, right? Be a part of the notification team. And I guess from me and from you, it's take care, everyone.
See ya.